Dominic, one of the greatest guitarists of our times. Many people know you with Sting, but I don't want to talk about Sting. I want to talk about you, about your playing. And well, when I saw you in concert, I was really interested about, well, to find out something about the way you learn to play the guitar, because I think the main instrument now is your classical guitar.
Yeah, I mean, it always has been really. Playing electric was, I bypassed my career just to play electric, but really I can get more sounds out of a classical guitar than I can with any amount of pedals. I find that it's a much bigger timbre of sounds.
Yeah.
So I'm happier with the classical guitar.
When we see you playing on the classical guitar, in fact you don't need any other musicians. You have a band, but you could be there because you can play the melody.
Yeah, sometimes I do solos, and yeah, doing solo concerts is a completely different thing. But I think that the classical guitar is an amazing instrument. I think Segovia said that it is like a small orchestra.
Yeah.
And I've always identified with that.
Yeah.
And I've always tried to live by that concept, that you can do it. That's why I like playing some classical pieces, because they're self-contained.
Yeah.
The melody's there, the chords are there, and some Brazilian music, it's all there. So it gets a little bit more complex later on, but yeah, I mean, it's a great instrument.
Would Segovia be happy when he would see you playing? Because the way you hold your guitar is not like a normal classical guitar.
No, I don't think he'd be happy at all with me. I mean, my technique, I have my own sort of technique, which I've invented myself. I mean, I don't use nails, and I don't really use this finger very much. I just have my own silly way of playing, and it works. For me, the most important thing is the sound.
Yeah.
I care more about the sound than anything else.
Yeah. Well, so in the end, it is important, the most important thing is to be unique, yeah? Not to play like others, but you have got your own style.
Well, I don't aim to be unique. I just, I think that really, I mean, I've got a lot of influences in guitar players. I have many guitar players that I like, and all the guitar players that I like kind of make up my DNA as a guitarist.
Yeah. Can you tell
Well,
us?
I mean, on my, I have my electric side and my acoustic side. I think that my, let's say acoustic, my, I suppose if I had to pick 5 guitarists that really have been very influential, I would say Baden-Powell, the Brazilian guitarist. I would say Julian Bream. I would say Ralph Towner. People like that. Paco de Lucia, of course. That's, I mean, and Egberto Gismonti. You know, people who just are so deep with their approach and their sound. They all have their own sound. And really, I've taken elements of all those players and brought it into my own thing. I don't try to be Dominic Miller. I mean, who cares? I don't think you should really do that, to try and have your own identity. Just play. That's it.
How important was the study for you? I read that you studied in London, and when I listen to you, I hear a bit the Argentine origin. I hear Villa-Lobos. Did you study these?
Yeah, I mean, I studied all those pieces. I did all the grade system in England, and I went through classical guitar studies. But I found it, I didn't really like it so much. I thought it was a bit rigid. They never taught me. It was just one way they had of doing it. It's almost like you're holding the guitar like this, and your right hand's like this, and I struggled with that. But yes, I did, and I think it helped me a lot, actually. But yeah, Villa-Lobos, I did all those tunes. But it's a small repertoire, the classical guitar repertoire. I was more interested in making my own arrangements of the other pieces, like the violin pieces and the cello pieces. But yeah, I mean, I've studied, I went to Brazil and I studied with a classical guitarist there. I studied in Berkeley for a bit. And I'm still studying now. You know, it never ends.
It takes me to the next question. When I see you playing, you've got a great knowledge, I think, of chords. Well, one question would be, is anything improvised?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a combination of total control and total chaos that I like. I mean, I like to know the structures of what I'm doing, and I mean, I have a kind of chords. I love chords. Because chords can change a melody completely. So I like to, you know, to kind of tease the melody with different chords. And you know, I've been exposed to a lot of different music, from classical to rock. There's no music that I really hate. It's all the best of everything that I really like. I mean, everything from heavy metal to classical. There's something that I've taken, there's some of the chordal elements, like, let's say metal, for instance, the way it's constructed on fifths a lot of the time. It's not just as simple as that.
Power chords.
Yeah, but power chords, you've got ninths, you've got all kinds of stuff happening, and like what's happening on the top? You know, it's like, it's holding together really well. I mean, I suppose a really good example of advanced metal would be a band like Meshuggah. You know, I think they're from Norway. I mean, it's incredible stuff.
Yeah, there are incredible guitarists. Maybe I'll try to get in touch with on Sunday, because there is something going on here in Wien. There's a big store. Matthias Ecklo.
Yeah, is that his name? I'd like to meet him.
Yeah, he's a great guitarist. But back to you. When you try to compose a song, have you got a melody in head and try to find the chords for the melody? Or?
Yeah, no, it's usually, there's no real rule with that, but I think with composing, usually it's like a gift. It's just a gift. Usually it's just two chords that are contrasted together. If I hear two chords with a note on top, it's just a moment. If I hear a moment that sounds really interesting and it contrasts itself, then I feel obligated to write around that. It's like with colours. You know, a beautiful colour is only as good as the colour next to it. It's no good playing it's like a beautiful chord with a ninth and an 11th. It doesn't mean anything on its own. It's like, what is the chord next to it? Or what's the chord before it? If I have two chords that stumble upon each other that sound like something like amazing, I feel obligated to write a piece of music around that. And with that, I use a combination of knowledge, which is theory, of like, how do you solve a problem? It's like a mathematical problem. It's like playing Sudoku, or like a crossword puzzle. You've got to solve it. How do you get from this key to that key? Some of it is knowledge, and some of it is just like, is luck, but it's also just really using harmony to the max. And I love it.
You worked with the greatest musicians, I think. I keep in mind that some of them who make great songs say a song has to be done in 20 minutes. When you start to work on it for hours and days and weeks, and well, then you find out it is not worth it. Is that your experience?
Yeah, I mean, the best songs are the ones that happen pretty instantaneously, I think. I mean, I've worked on songs for months and not really made any improvement. I think, I mean, really with songwriting has been a huge influence on my approach with instrumental music, because they're like short stories. They have a real structure. The structure is like, I'm not interested in instrumental pieces that are 17.5 minutes long. I don't want to just meander and sort of improvise too much with a composition. It's a composition. When you play live, you can improvise and just like work out different ways of playing it. But
can you improvise with the chords? We all know we try to